One, two, one, two. Hi, you're with Scott, and as is traditional on this channel, I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Oh, I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Right, so you can hear me. I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Right, so you can hear me. I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Right, so you can hear me. I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Right, so you can hear me. I'm just gonna have to check the sound. Yeah, I think you can all. Right, so you can hear me. I'm just gonna have to. I think we've got a sound. Pretty confident that we've got a sound. Is the sound in sync? I'll never know. Do this. It's meaningless. It's meaningless unless I can see and hear it in the. It's meaningless unless I can. The window. See and hear it in the. It's meaningless unless I can. The window. See and hear it in the. It's meaningless unless I can. The window. See and hear it in the. It's meaningless unless I can. Right. Hi, you're with Scott. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is a live stream. And your right ear and your left ear, because this is mono. The voice in your head. I've got Hearthstone up. You can hear me. Got some chat. Hang on. Let me get it so I can see that. Well, I can see it all. Hello. I don't know if anyone's still here from 10:30. Sorry, I was a bit late. That's how this is going to work for a little bit. It's going to be a little bit loose around the edges until we can get into the other room and maybe get a more powerful computer. Squad goals. I know that squad goals doesn't mean that, right? But you know, we've got goals as a squad, so let's put those on it. Getting in the other room and having my curly bit of hair sticking out. Have that. Just that one bit. And try and get into the other room. More permanent. And then, what was I saying? Yeah, try and work towards a more powerful computer so I can have control over all these things without worrying. Try and learn how to use it all a bit better. We're here playing Hearthstone live. Well, we're not really playing it yet. Can you hear that? Can you hear the chicky noises of Hearthstone? I don't want it to be too loud. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. If the sound's too loud, I'll never know, and it'll just spoil the whole thing. But let's crack on. I've got some quests that I've got to complete as part of this never-ending chase for XP and like gold that doesn't exist to buy cards that don't exist. Got down the right road here. What do we need to do? We need to complete using our hero power, playing battlecry cards, dealing damage. So that's all just general. Win ranked play. I'm never going to play battlegrounds duels. We're going to play some Tavern Brawl today, so we might get to complete that. We could play 4 games of Tavern Brawl, couldn't we? Spend money. Yeah, it's already general. Win a game of ranked play. Okay. I haven't been keeping up on the meta. I'm just jumping back into this from a few weeks. My nan died in the end of December, so January has not been the month for me to push ladder. So I'm not pushing ladder. Let's get this done. Tavern Brawl. Oh, it's a create deck. I like a create deck. Spiders and Thoughts have had their chance. Now you choose. Pick one card for your deck. And you get 22 copies of it, plus 8 random class cards. 1 card. Pogo Hopper. Is that the correct answer here? Let's just see. I mean, I might be wrong. Shadow Step. Oh, I'd like a Pogo Hopper and a Shadow Step. My guess is just I mean, you could be discovering, you could be filling your hand with stuff. You certainly could be doing those things. But if I get lucky, and just one or two of my class cards are like Shadow Step or, you know, draw some Pogo Hoppers. Let's see how this goes. I might have already missed the opportunity to be sharp on the meta. Like with some of these tavern rules, there's a correct answer, and if you don't spot it early, you just get stomped until you see it, and then... I haven't seen any of these new cards either, so I don't want the preparation. Give me more Pogo Hoppers. Actually, what I should be doing there, what I should be doing is I should be shuffling in the Pogo Hoppers, because there's only... Oh, patches. They see patches might be the right answer. Look. They're all just going to come firing out. I could be doing this. I got patches. Oh, Taz. That's interesting. See how we go with the Pogo Hoppers. Oh, I'm getting griefed by my opponent. Just switch that off. There's no need for that, is there? No need to try and make someone feel bad or whatever. Astonishing. Oh, I'm so clever, I'm using patches. I've got patches. I could use that.
This place is scary.
He's got a cheeky taunt. He, they, Kirk, Kathreek. I don't know. Well, I wonder what I'll be doing. You see, there is some value in using this, because I can kill one patches each turn with this. But this is just like summon a bigger man, isn't it? So summon a bigger man. Could use Jade Idols, I suppose. Never-ending deck. I don't want it has to be a man either, summon a bigger man, because Jade Idols are non-gender specific, and nor is a Pogo Hopper, so summon a bigger entity. Trying to trim me there. It's a little bit of a race here, isn't it? What are you going to do? Play patches? Astonishing. When I run out of cards, I can press this button. But until that point, well, you see, look. Let's just race. Because I think that's lethal, isn't it? Is it lethal on the other side of the board? I don't think so. That's 7 damage that I'm going to be facing. Whereas my opponent is facing massive lethal. So maybe Pogo Hoppers was the right answer. Oh, what's that? Leaving some board space. Creating some board space. Still, you know, even with a nice cheeky taunt. This was easy, wasn't it? Oosh. Douche. So I shouldn't keep leaning off camera. I didn't realise I was so narrow in the frame today. Right, there we go, victory. That's my Tavern Brawl done. Pack earned. Earned. For my labour. Got to complete all these. So these are all Battlecry cards. These are doing my quest, so let's just keep going. Brawl. Let's see what else we come across in the Tavern Brawl. I've selected 1 card. Quite a lot of cards to think about, but it's not one of those where you're going to do a lot of thinking. You're just going to jump straight to Pogo Hopper, aren't you? I don't know. I think there are some more other options that snowball. I think you could pick something that snowballs. Well, Pogo Hopper's snowballing, isn't it, really? Yeah. I don't know. See how this goes. Look, I'm facing a rogue, so it's probably Pogo Hoppers, isn't it? I'm doing the same thing again. I'm looking for the hoppers, which is I'm inevitably going to get. Like I said, I should be shuffling those in and seeing what variety of other cards I have, because there's such a small amount of other cards. Because draw would be important here, because my opponent's just going to drop a Pogo Hopper, and then what? Then I've won because I go first. Or they play 2 Pogo Hoppers because they've got the coin and they've won. I don't know. Who's won? Who has won? We will find out on today's episode of People Just Play Pogo Hoppers. Discover a weapon. That's not useful. Pogo Hoppers away. Cha-ching, cha-ching. See, now my opponent, let me think about this. My opponent is going to play 2 pogo hoppers next turn. And he's going to have 1 to trade. And so he'll just go the trade, the 3-3 into the 3-3. The 1-1 into the 1-1. If he trades the 3-3 into the 1-1. And then, you see, does he get to trade? There you get to trade more favourably if I leave this on board. I definitely can't trade it into that. I could trade into this, or I could go face. I think I go into face. I think we go face. Let my opponent work out the trading problem. Because they get a favourable trade here, a 3 into a 1, meaning the 3 can then trade again into the 3. That was a mistake. Maybe, or was it? I don't know. I don't know. If you control a stealth minion, draw 2 cards. Now we've got some trouble. So, let's drop a hopper. Take out a hopper. And face is the place. I don't know about this, you see. My opponent could now just drop 3 hoppers and I'm done. By merit of drawing those other cards. Oh, there you go, you've drawn one of your other cards. So just the 1 hopper coming my way. Keeping pace, what are you going to do? Trade them. Trade them. Trade them off. Trade them off. Go on. Ah, you see the favourable trade coming in. Favourable trades. Oh, I see what you did there. Will I ever have a stealth minion? Draw is so important in this trade of the hoppers. Draw is so important, but will I ever have the stealth minion? Or should I just discover a weapon? This is stats on board, you see. Stats that will get traded away by my opponent, who is savvy about trade. So if I do this, then that's going to go into this. The 9 can go into this. This can go into this. I don't know. Don't know where we stand here. I think we've lost. Pretty sure we've lost. I should have been here at 10:30 when the people were in the chat room, shouldn't I? That was naughty of me. Having a dog and all that. What can you do? So I could just loosely hear that gameplay in my headphones. Seems reasonable. A reasonable volume in my headphones. I hope it's reasonable to you. And there's only one reasonable play here, isn't there? I like the bombs. It's not going to be very useful against these giant hoppers, which have got, lethal. Maybe I was hoping for something that might help me to heal up, but this is all useless, isn't it? All useless.
This guy's toast.
And we've lost. Congratulations. In the background, the cat is knocking things off the table, and the dog is following her around, trying to cause trouble. We're just playing some Hearthstone, trying to knock off our weekly quests. I was going to be a Hearthstone streamer. That was my plan, because I've been playing Hearthstone now for a while. Playing it and what have you. I thought I might start streaming that, and I can see the other streamers having fun and that. So there we go. Battlecry cards done. Chop. Reward. Gold. Not real gold that you can spend though. You can buy cards with that. Right. How many of these? Let's check our quests. We got deal damage. Use your hero power 20 times. My action's just going way over, just wavering around here. Weekly, win a game of ranked, win 5 of Tavern Brawl, spend the mana. Let's just go one more Tavern Brawl then, see if we can get this on a roll. See if we can face somebody who's not playing Pogo Hoppers. I expect we'll face some Jades, shouldn't we? We should face some Jades at some point. And then I was going to talk generally about Hearthstone and Blizzard and metrics and power creep. I had a little thing to talk. I was maybe making a video about it, but yeah, so I was saying, return a friendly minion to your hand, it costs 1 this turn. That's quite good. That's good, that is. It's a legendary as well, that is. Legendary. Keeping that, binning that off. Seeing what else is in the deck. Because we're just going to get Pogo Hoppers, you know, statistically, so it's very unlikely. See, exactly. But if we could see, if we got a different legendary, for example, and that's really, really sweet. One of the things I love about Hearthstone is the art, and this is the first time I've had a good look at this card. So just having a little look at that art there. Dancing. Shining. I like the way the magic items actually seem to illuminate in the image. There's a lot going on in that figure, a lot of different colours and shape, and I'm just going to play a Pogo Hopper. Sorry, my opponent. I'm not trying to grief you here. I'm just playing Pogo. They're thanking me, so I imagine I'm getting some freeze or ice block or some shenanigans about to happen. What could a mage do? Eh? What's the worst a mage could do? Pinging the old hero power. Maybe they've gone for something a little more powerful than a 1-drop. Thanking me. Thank you. Thank you. The pleasure's mine. I could just squelch, you know. So, douche. Let's just play 1, 2 more. Yeah, I was considering being a Hearthstone streamer, but I'm not sure I want to encourage people to play Hearthstone. It's one of these bad games. Blizzard, you know, they've taken a free-to-play game, a lovely concept. There are things I love so much about it. There are things I love. The strategic play, the pace of the play, the fact that you don't have to be constantly jamming on the buttons, the fact that you can just chill, play your cards. But what's better, 2 hoppers or this dude?
Come, friend. Let's see what you've got.
Cost 1 every turn, mate, so end turn. Yeah, I might, if I were to be, there's things I love about it. The strategy and the gameplay and mechanics and all that. There are things I don't love so much about it, like the buying new cards every month or a couple of months or whatever. The fact that if you try to get into the game and, like me, are a bit of a whale and want to complete a collection, that would be prohibitively expensive. I mean, I have a bit of fun. I'm basically free to play. I've got 2, you know, they do different servers, NA, EU, Asia. Like 2 of those I do free to play. EU, I have bought some cards. I will admit I've bought some cards with real life money, not pretend gold that you get in the game. Real life gold. That, you know, there's a limit on how much you can spend. So, but I'm not into, like, I think some of these games, like, what was it, Fortnite has this battle pass system, and it makes you feel like if you just keep completing the battle pass, you win enough pretend money to keep buying another battle pass, and like eventually I was just like, look, do you need any of this stuff? No. So with Hearthstone, I've been relatively lucky that I managed to. Is that it? Is that the end of my? This is my turn. Maybe this person is someone that watches me on stream and has just said thank you. Maybe that. Thank you. They left. I don't know. Maybe they don't watch. I mean, it's very unlikely they're watching my stream, isn't it? Very unlikely. So, but thank you. There's a little victory. I am clicking to continue. Dealing the damage. There's another one chalked off. I did buy the battle pass for this because I feel invested in Hearthstone. I wanted to get the most out of my time. And yeah, it's provided enough fake gold. You know, they call it gold. It's not real gold. Fake currency, Blizzard points. I've amassed enough Blizzard points to get the cards as they are released from this store. And now the animals are having a little play on the floor. So if you hear a dog whining or a cat leaping from a surface onto a dog, I know that's what it is that's happening. So yeah, I amassed enough for these fake points to get the recent cards and all that. But I wouldn't really want to promote the spending of real life money on a never-ending. Like if it's fun and you enjoy it, I get it. I get it. Like subscriptions, whatever. Yeah, I get it. But like they don't have to. They bring you out as hard as they do with some things, do they? Some things they just. Oh, I've got a cheeky Sonya, shadow. You don't see me, shadow. Not having that. Yeah, they don't have to ring you out as hard as they do with some games. And Hearthstone is a game that they really ring you out hard. You know, they want your money, they want your time. And I'm not sure I should encourage people to spend their time and their money on Blizzard. Like if I tell you what, if Blizzard and Hearthstone were a lot more, or a bit more, reasonable and generous, then I'd be more inclined to give them my time and money. But then I'm not everyone, am I? So yeah, what's been happening recently with Hearthstone is what always happens. Changes, people complaining and worrying. I mean, some of these changes might be for the better, might be for the worse. But I'll tell you one thing. This is it. I'm going to do my little bit of rambling. I wrote it down on the iPad. I was going to read it out. Is this just another win? I don't want to play a useless pirate. Right, let's go attack with that.
Job's done.
I can see some chats. Yeah, wait, at the top. Maybe I've got something wrong here because maybe I'm cutting some of them off. Let me see this. See, now look what's happened. You can't see what's happened. It's on my desktop. It's every single window is open all at once, and to find another window with the old, where's the chat pop-up window? Where is that? I've hid it behind like everything else. All this stuff. I don't need the notepad open. That can go. This is my turn. My opponent's just thinking, what a douchebag. Not ending their turn. Naughty. There, right, okay, I got it, I see that, right, chats. I remember, okay, it's like upside down for my stream, isn't it? The last chat on screen, yay. I can see this, yeah, okay. And on stream it looks about the same, doesn't it? I think it does, yeah. Is it my turn? Right, it's my turn, quick, get back, focus. Look, I've only got one hopper. I don't know what happened. What card did my opponent play? Mass Hysteria. What? What? I've only got one hopper. And you played Mass Hysteria. What's going on? Anyone would think that Hearthstone had some sort of random component. And that's some of what I was going to go on to say. I wrote it all down on the iPad. So what I'll do is I'll have the ramble while we're playing, and then I'll do cut to big face, right? And then I'll talk big face. But no, yeah, Hearthstone, it's got so much of this stuff that I love. The strategy and the deck building. I thought, what a good idea. You can have, it's like chess, isn't it? But you can change your pieces, and you can come up with different combinations of pieces, and you can use your smarts to try and come up with clever combinations and do clever creative things. What a wonderful game. Unless you sort of just go a bit over the top with it and start producing like stupidly overpowered things that destroy the fabric of reality. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not drawing any hoppers, am I? Conceal, conceal. Play Sonya Baddie Dancer or Conceal. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing that. Right. Yeah, so I can see your chats now. So hello. I appreciate that you're here. I think it's good. Right. So I'm just having a little ramble run. Yeah, but so Hearthstone in Blizzard, they can see the metrics, right? And they're not just making a nice game to sell once, are they? They're making like a repeat income stream. So that addictive, interesting. Oh, look, that was clever. That was nice. Where did that come from? What card am I? Psychics? Decalunacy. And each time you play it, it just transforms you. That's clever. That is clever. I like that. I like that. It might have been a bit slow had I had a handful of hoppers, but not so. With the, look, you're gonna love this. Look, I'm just gonna conceal. Bye bye. I'm not even gonna play Sonya Baddie Dancer. It's a great card. Great card, Sonya Baddie Dancer. Yeah, because that's lethal next turn unless my opponent can find a way of killing this from inside stealth or freezing it or something. Anyway, yeah, so they've got these lovely mechanics and they're really enjoyable, but it's also got these things that like you want to complete a collection, and if you're a whale, you want every card, and it doesn't mean that you can really like you can sometimes do mad things that break the game by putting different don't bang the mic by putting different combinations together, but quite often I'm winning all the games. Look at me, wee. Quite often all the interactions are designed carefully by the game designers, and veering too far away from any prescribed deck recipe provides you with a weaker deck. So there aren't really that many synergies that you can like when you really dig in Wild, maybe a bit more. But you know, to be the first person to find something new in Hearthstone isn't as easy these days because there's fewer things. Aside from the random broken stuff, there's fewer outside or what am I trying to say? Versatile design choices. Things are a bit more prescribed, so you're either playing this style or you're playing this or you're playing that, and that's cool in a way. But you know, I liked to deck build and you know think I was doing something unique or peculiar to me, and not just playing the same deck as X other rogue plays. You know, because I'm pretty sure we'll see some more hoppers on this, won't we? My little, have you got a little sticky out piece of hair like me? I have. Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, what Blizzard I believe do, and something that goes unnoticed in a way. Like Blizzard have all these metrics, right? They've got all the stats, haven't they? They know about who's playing what cards, who owns which thing, who's spending how much money, and when they're playing, gain +2 attack and stealth. Draw a weapon from your deck. What are the odds that I've got a weapon in my deck? Like, how many weapons are there in the rogue spectrum? This is from Wild as well, so there must be about 5, 7, 8 weapons. I'm getting, what, 4 or 5 cards randomly allocated, and they've got to come from the attack. No, it's not likely, is it? So let's leave that. We'll bin that off as well. See what I did there with the mathematics? Oh, I love the mathematics bit. I love the mathematics, trying to work out the mathematics of it. The statistical probabilities. So yeah, what am I doing? Discovering a part? No, just playing poker hoppers, mate. That's me. Brain dead. Right. So, yeah, this is Tavern Brawl, by the way. It's not ladder, so you wouldn't normally be able to have as many poker hoppers in your deck. But what's my opponent doing? Using their hero power. They better have something cheeky up their sleeve, because why am I drawing that? What's that? Where's that come from? Kidnapper. Kidnapper. Looks spooky. And I was saying I love the art as well, don't I? Like, even though this is one of the worst cards in the game, you don't often see it, and it's one of the more gruesome cards. Hearthstone used to be more fantasy art, role, like Dungeons and Dragons, like some comedy gruesome realism, but it's moved away from that artistic style in recent years. We could talk about that in another video, because I love talking about the art. But let's discover a card as well, what they have. At the end of your turn, restore 3 health. That's nice. This is more cool stuff in my hand. And value is going to be important here. I'm just going to take the favourable trade because I'm sensible. I'm not familiar with Hearthstone. When a creature card dies, is it gone for the rest of the battle? Right, yeah, Hearthstone doesn't have a graveyard in the same sense as other card games, in that when something dies, yes, it's gone, but it does go to a sort of graveyard, yeah, but the graveyard doesn't contain exact copies of everything that died. So there are mechanics that resolve themselves around resurrection, and they don't resurrect from an exact graveyard of everything that died exactly as it died, with the stats it had and stuff like that. But yeah, there are. Look at that, Lord Barov. Play that. Yeah, everything on my side dies if I kill it, because it goes deal 1 damage to everything, set everything to 1. But that's okay, because I can just go face. I can go face. I can go face. That's fine. Do I want these in my hand now? I mean, my opponent really needs to clear this board by playing Barov, so I'm going to play nothing. Just going to attack. How does this work? Havoc. They play Barov next turn and attack, clear everything. I do play this, they clear it. I don't play it, I wait for next turn. They don't have a Barov in a... Yeah, okay. No, they've always got a Barov because they can always play one. Oh, they're going to win this. I might be done here. Right, I might be done here. Yeah, once it's dead, it's gone though. It's gone off the board. It doesn't shuffle back. But there are mechanics that... there's so many mechanics in Hearthstone now that what you imagine can happen probably can. Somewhere along the lines. But yeah, I was going to say, yeah, so Blizzard have got metrics, and what Blizzard are trying to do is they're trying to make you play as much as possible, rah, or evil, or, it's not that bad, really, if they're just trying to make a really good game, so that you play it a lot. That doesn't always have to be bad. What's this stuff going on? Bell ring a sentry, place it, and they've got secrets. I'm getting chiefed here, but the good thing about this is that there's no Barov on board. So you can't play 2 Barovs in 1 turn with 5 mana, so let's go. Bogey. Hopper. And I'm just going to play that, even though it's not corrupt, because corrupt's an awful keyword. And just attack. Right, yeah, so it doesn't have to be bad that you've got all these metrics and stuff. But what tends to happen with Hearthstone, the way Blizzard use these metrics, is they break the game repeatedly. Every single new expansion, right? Power creep. There's talk of a new class. Everyone's talking about they don't want a new class. There was a new class recently. There was Demon Hunter. And Demon Hunter, this is another point to make. I've got my sticky out hair, where's that coming from? No. Demon Hunter does belong in Hearthstone because it comes from World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft, should we just have loads of Barovs? There's no point in having Pogo Hoppers shuffled in. I'm just going to cheek in some Barovs and just see what happens. Face is the place. Right. Yeah. Blizzard, see, I'm getting distracted, I should have written it down on it. The new class, Demon Hunter, it was overpowered. They've done this with World of Warcraft. It's come from World of Warcraft. This whole game exists in their universe. So, yeah, new class, fine. It exists in Warcraft. We can have it in this, whatever. But the aim of Blizzard is to create these power creep moments, these like broken game moments where if you're the person in the know, if you realise that the new class, Demon Hunter, as was, is going to be powerful, then you can jump back in, get your money out, buy the cards, and then start playing and having fun. Because who doesn't like winning with an exceptionally broken deck? Who doesn't like having an unfair advantage over their opponent and racing up the ladder? Who doesn't like making legend without skill or enterprise? Who doesn't like that? So that's why Blizzard are always going to pay. It's nice that these Barovs can clear my board. It's nice, but I'm still going to be able to hit my opponent in the face every turn. So they've got 7 turns to finish this. Right. We get this power creep moment. They do it with every expansion. So the popularity of the game dwindles over time. And the answer is to release more and more fresh, interesting cards. Yeah, I understand that as a simple concept. I get that. That's cool. Right, I'm ranting now, aren't I? Not calm and relaxed now. Ranting about me passionate about. So where's all those 1/1s come from? You're cheeky. They can all hit me in the face before they die next turn, can't they? Unless that ends up back in your hand. 1 Pogo Hopper. Cheeky. Return your Barov. Kidnapper, shining for once. But Sap for 2 mana is just a better card than this, but Sap does the same thing, it returns a minion to its owner's hand. But this has finally come good. The Kidnapper, which would never find its way into a normal deck. Surely this is lethal. Can you deal with the Hopper? You can drop your Barov, you see, and it'll set this to 1 health. Oh no, and then you can deal with it because, of course, you can just run in a Silverhand recruit. What was I thinking? Yeah. Game time. But still, you've got 6 turns, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is a 36. So yeah, I'm dead. Unless I can pull something out of the bag. Let's just drop what we got. Keep hitting face. Because my opponent still has to clear my board, so at least 2 things don't hit me, so I guess it wasn't the calculation I thought it was. So 3, 4, 5. And it's not repeating, because if they do choose to clear the board with Barov, eventually everything dies. What have we got on board now? 1, 3, 4. See, I didn't get hit for 6, at least. And then can you work out how... These are all going to hit me in the face next turn, though, aren't they? I could just kill a Barov, couldn't I? And it would do loads of damage to all minions. Take 3 damage to face. Bye-bye all your stuff. What's this? Ooh, that's interesting. It's not going to be enough. That worked well, didn't it? Douche, douche, hit you. Oh, I've already attacked. But once again, they've got a Barov, but big Pogo Hopper situation. Right, so yeah, Blizzard keep making these power creep. Instead of making the expansions slightly less regular, right, slightly less pumped down your throat, thank you very much, slightly less regular, and giving us, like, at the moment they've got new game modes in the game, but I haven't had enough time to play the new different game modes, as well as interesting the new cards, as well as complete my weekly daily tasks, as well as, I don't have the time to do all that, let alone, I don't know what the thing was I was going to start with talking about. Let's just check these quests again. So yeah, they should release fewer expansions, pump them down our throats slightly less often, give us more time and space to play these new modes, use your hero power 20 times, win 5 ranked, spend the mana. Okay, so now I'm on to ranked play. I've done the tavern rule. Let's just win a game of ranked. Let's go with the bad boys. See, I haven't even pushed, that was what I mean, I haven't even pushed my rank, have I? Look, I'm still chucking for this month. I've made legendary before in the past. Once I made Legend, I was like, I'm happy with that. I don't have to push Legend every month, so that's cool. But yeah, so they power creep these decks, these expansions, and the reason is so that someone like Zeddy, who I think is brilliant, a lovely streamer, he's always talking about ethics and value and stuff like that. I like Zeddy, he's a great Hearthstone streamer and player, but he's not being embraced by Blizzard because he's always critiquing them on this sort of like financial and ethical level. Let's see what we got. What am I doing? Put the big cards in the deck. Don't want them yet. Thank you very much. And Zeddy's cross because there's always power. Oh, this card's too strong. This card is broken. Blizzard, please nerf this. Blizzard, please fix this. Oh, this is too strong. And it's exactly that reaction that Blizzard want. You know, they know the metrics. They know what people are doing. If something's overpowered and it's only going to be in the game for a couple of weeks or, maybe less time until Blizzard nerfs something, they're not like hitting that button straight away, nerf that. They're leaving it there for a little bit of time. That's what they want. They want people to talk, don't they? Adding 2 random taunt minions to my hand. They want people to be interested and excited and to think that they might be able to get an unfair advantage. So they allow, maybe not just allow, maybe, design these power creep moments for the health, I'm doing that in inverted commas, financial health, I mean, of the game. And they do that so that more people are interested, more people play. And I do want more people to be interested and play. Got a choice here. Do I want the armour at this point? If I take the armour, I'll get the extra card. It's good, it's good cycle. It shows my opponent that I'm not bothered about taking damage and drawing more cards in the future. It tells my opponent something about my deck and what style of warrior I am. There is a really disgusting warrior deck going around at the moment that focuses on armor gain, and that's not this. So should I do that? Maybe I'll just drop. Later on in the game I could buff these in hand, so maybe it's better to save them. There's no threat on board. I'm just going to cycle. We're just going to cycle. Well played. Yeah, thanks. Lucky Tiger. I am allowing to use my time to think. My opponent's frustrated because I let the rope timer tick down and they're just planning to do nothing with their turn. You see, give all the taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. That's useful. And if I combine it with Vargoth, then I can essentially play it twice. So that's what we're going to do. So before we do that, we're going to discover another minion, and it may have taunt. No, we're not being offered a taunt. The best of these. I don't want to fill my hand. The big birdie shovel fist is nice in the late game, but against Priest, we're going to be seeing a variety of minions, and 199 for 9 is not going to cut it. Well, I could make that really big. The Restless Mummy is pretty useless as well. At least I can play it. I'll just throw it out there on board if I want to empty out my hand. So we're going to take that. And we are going to play it. I'm just going to drop that out. So, the power creep is deliberate. The broken mechanics are deliberate. The state of the game and the way it's gone is a little bit like trying to control a running bull. There's the power and the drive of the company, the financial side of things, combined, maybe running bulls combo, maybe that's what I mean. There's different forces pushing in different directions, but essentially it's driving forward. And I think that's designed and inbuilt. I think that's a choice. Let's drop Vargoth and beef up the hand. What this does, I'm not going to attack my opponent yet because they're looking to restore health, and every time they restore health it adds up on this quest, and when they eventually complete that quest, that's good for them. So if I start chipping away at their health, then it helps them because they can heal up. So I'm not going to attack with this. I'm just going to leave it out there. But at some point they have to think, Am I going to leave Vargoth out there? They've got a number of control cards in hand. Don't worry about that. They're going to be able to use them soon, or they're going to be able to start playing out their cards that they eventually want to resurrect later.
Your mind is not your own.
They're going to steal my Vargoth. Cheeky priest. But I do feel favoured in this matchup. I've won a few against priest with this deck. I've won a few. So, yeah, so Blizzard do the power creep. Talking two subjects, aren't I? And I think it's deliberate. Yeah. I think they've got metrics to show that power creep equates to more engagement. And more engagement equates to bigger financial returns. I think that's the way their thing is set up. Let's get this out there. These are just wasting my hand, really. I know my opponent is planning to resurrect things, and if they resurrect that taunt that steals things, they could make one of my minions 1 health or 1 attack and steal it. This is something my opponent can do. But if I throw these things out, then they don't want to do that to these things, because when they resurrect them, they'll be awful. 2 mana, 2/3. So, oh, cheeky. Chico. Using my own Vargoth there to hit me in the face. I am going to be forced to chuff out the Gorehowl. This is a big weapon, smashes things, and then it retains its durability of 1, but loses 1 attack. Classic card there, Gorehowl. And that's what I was going to go on to talk about. So my idea for Hearthstone, how they can fix this terrible problem of power creep and money and whatever infecting the game, is just to let this all go on. Like, it's quite fun, the game is. If it wasn't so expensive, it would be a bit nicer and a bit better. But the game's quite fun, and you should pay for a game sometimes, yeah. So I didn't swear then, I didn't. But, fuff it, that's alright, let that go on. But create like a Hearthstone classic that actually is classic, that's timeless, that people who just want to play simple game mechanics and use their brains. I'm going to be playing something here, but what am I going to be playing? Should it be this, or should it be this? This deck is all about getting big threats on board that, even if you destroy, keep coming back at you. So let's drop one of those. This Proto Drake is a big heifer, a big chonker, and if you get rid of it and kill it, it comes back as a 7-drop. So that's something interesting for the priest to deal with. They might steal this. That might be a target for their shenanigans. No, just a simple destroy. They might have enough in hand to destroy it twice. We'll see. 4 attack is a bit difficult for priest. They've got cards that kill things at 3 attack and cards that kill things at 5 attack, but 4 attack's a bit difficult. Summon 2 copies is what we're going to be doing next. Rattlegore is nice to get down, but we still haven't seen the Silence and Destroy, and we don't want Rattlegore to be destroyed with Silence. We want it to be persistent on board. So it's nice if I don't have it in hand. It's nice if it can be a copy of a minion in my deck, rather than the actual minion. But this is what we're going with. So we'll drop this. And a Taunt. An attack. And now I've got my hand emptied out a bit, I can use Information to fill it up again. Not going to attack with Gorehowl, because that will smash the 1 durability of it, and then I won't have it anymore. And I've got cards that can beef that up at a later stage. So we're just going to sit with this. We are damaging the opponent now. Like I said, we wouldn't. They've got spells that are going to heal them up and give them more spells. So maybe that was a mistake, but at some point you've got to push when you're playing against this heal priest. I don't know if that was the correct move from priest there. Lucky Tiger. This is a really good card, Troublemaker, but you're getting these other things in your res pool. So I don't know if they're going to res up later, because they're going to get all this rubbish in their res pool now. We'll see what happens. We're going with the copies, without a shadow of a doubt. 2 copies of a minion, all big minions. This is the worst that could have happened. The Boom Reaver. It summons a copy of a minion, but you have to play it from hand for that to happen. So you really want that in your hand. You don't want to be pulling that out your deck. But, you know, I just have. So, there we go. Effing useless. And, yeah, just going to attack face. I could get rid of this, but I actually want it to spit out another couple of 3/3s before I start dealing with it. Because then my opponent really has a problem resing up their dead minions later. And with that in mind, I'm going to kill one of them with the cheeky Gorehound. Let's see what happens next. Automod has held a message. Remember the Cthulhu? Automod has held a message for. I'm going to allow this. Right, I'm going to allow it. Term ho. I'm going to allow it because, like, I don't think that this is malicious. Cthulhu. You know. Yeah, Cthulhu. That was. I started playing around the time of Cthulhu. Hearthstone. Yeah. I didn't have all the old cards. I didn't have all the new cards, so now I don't have all the old cards, but I've got most of the new cards from that point onwards. Yeah, I do remember Cthulhu, and they've played on that nostalgia with the recent expansion by bringing back the old gods. I see that as a repeating cyclical theme as well, playing on this repeating. Like, it's better, in my opinion, as well, if they don't try and think up a new mechanic every single expansion, but to circulate, you know, ideas like mechs, old gods, whatever, you know, to circulate ideas in a getting my face smashed in here. This has gone badly. Come on, Dimensional Ripper's got he can't pull the worst minion again, can it? That's better. Look. That's better. I'm going to take this to face because my opponent doesn't have a lot of direct damage in their deck. There's 2 old school favourites. Gruul, just going to keep expanding. Like, what can you do? It's time for you to use your Silence and Destroy. And then I've got to put another threat out, another Silence and Destroy. And then once we've had that, then I can start laying out my big never-ending minions. see if it works. Yeah, so I wish that we could. I was going to come around to this end of the rant, which is something more positive, which is we could have a sort of more classic Hearthstone, like chess. I'm not saying chess, like chess would be well boring, wouldn't it? And the fact they never modify chess, like I'm not saying never modified. I'm not saying modify chess. What am I saying? Let's just have a more stable, classic environment with. I'm dropping this because you have to silence this. You can't just kill this. Give all minions in your hand +3/+3. But if you don't silence it, then I'm coming at you. Coming at you. I don't want to drop this. Wee. See? That says I don't even care about beefing this up. This is just nothing to me. In hand, I've got some big things. And my opponent's thinking, right, I can't just kill this and make these things bigger unless I've got Silence and Destroy for the things that get big. It's like a... This is part of the thing that I enjoy in the game. You know, the working all this stuff out. Right. Copying cards from my deck. Yeah, that's fine. You can have those. It's about pressure at this point. It looks like I'm under pressure because I've only got 4 health, but really no. It's about the fact that I can keep adding pressure to my opponent. This is quite a big threat. You know, it's going to hit you in the face for 9. That's not good. It's going down. It's going to make these things bigger. Rattlegore, every time you kill it, it comes back again, but just minus +1, plus -1, -1, -1. So it's going to come back 12 times unless it's silenced. This summons a 7/7 unless it's silenced. 2 more minions from the deck, Taunt and Divine Shield, let's go. 2 more Gruuls, you see, creating more problems for my opponent here. Sorry, just the one. I don't know why I said 2. I was thinking of when you've got Vargoth out. We'll take 2 of these though, 2 more Taunt minions. Discover a Rush. This is lovely. Put something 40. Puts a 40 into my deck. And then hit to face. I think we're done here. We're going to keep applying pressure, and my opponent is going to have to keep removing things. And once we've seen the Silence and Destroy, the second, you're only allowed 2 copies of each card in your deck. Once we've seen the second one, we're going to go for it. This is a card that everyone hates. I've told you before, I really like this. Greetings, fellow humans. I think it's funny. It's annoying that you have to keep crashing through them all the time. You're going to put the, you're going to put the Death Rattle, summon 2 more, or make a copy of this, mate. Lucky Tiger. You shouldn't just be dropping that out there. You want to put Death Rattle, summon 2 more. Alright. That's cool. It's destroying his... They are destroying their own minion in order to get the Death Rattle effect to go off. Saying to me that they're planning to do some resurrection next turn. Potentially. But I don't care, because you're going to maybe summon 3 rubbishy things. I'm going to play this. It's huge. And you're going to have to deal with that. And then next turn, I'm going to play not something huge, but these fellas. The Fairground Fool and the Void Drinker. They're big enough to, be a bit of a problem. Ooh, that's one of the stolen cards. Ooh, big Colossus. Ooh, I don't care. Hitting you in the face for 14. Douche. Look at that. Douche, 14 to face. That's massive. And this Colossus still can't even get through that. Do I need to drop any more threats? My opponent still needs to deal with the threat that's on board. What do we do here? I'm going to drop 1 Whirlwind so you don't have a Divine Shield. No, I'm not going to bother with that even. Can that sword... That can go to face. No, it can't. It's just a minion. So I'm going to knock your Divine Shield off with that. Going to armour up. See, now potentially, on my opponent's turn, they can destroy this with a spell, and then the 7/7 it leaves behind they can kill with this, and they're up on board. So unless I add more stuff to the board, but if I add more stuff to the board, they can play 1 spell that kills everything. I'm just going to get rid of that because I don't have... Oh, I do have another weapon in hand. That's cheeky. Yeah, okay. I've added more to the board, so it just creates a numbers problem for my opponent. Yeah, I remember Cthulhu. So I thought that Hearthstone was going to be my game. I thought it was going to be the game that I played on stream all the time. I used to watch other streamers. This is something I was going to come on to talk about, but we'll save it a little bit. I think I've finished my rant, haven't I? Yeah, the classic Hearthstone, that's what I was going to go on to say. Maybe we should have just like a classic Hearthstone that's a bit more like chess, a bit more tight as well, with a classic set that isn't boring after a period of time, but it's kind of evergreen. Maybe you can add a few new cards from expansions, but not every card. Maybe just a few new cards to create like an esports scene that is more standardized, so that over time you can judge people against each other in history like they do with other sports, like a more standard rule set. We're going to play the Beam Reaver. So if we play the Boom Reaver now, we summon a copy of a minion. We've only got 8 cards left in deck, so time is running out to summon copies. But if we play Kaggarth, then Kaggarth can shuffle a big minion into the deck and add one that the Boom Reaver can guarantee to pull out. You see, a copy of one as well, and it gives me big armor. So we are going to play this into this. See, I see it could be lethal here, but I just don't have the extra damage. Drop the spell. It puts this into the deck. It's not guaranteed that I put it next turn, but I'm just going to go face and drop a little more threat. Because now my opponent is in a situation where they have to heal up and remove my minions. So if they can't do both, then I can just hit them in the face next turn. If they can do both, then I can add more pressure. Eventually we're going to get to a point where I've seen that second Silence and Destroy, and I can drop Rattlegore, and it can go on unopposed. Yeah, these games go on a long time between Priest and Warrior. And I think my opponent is going to feel worse than me if I win. Because, yeah, they've just got like a bit of a cheese deck, really. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so a more classic set that we could play with more longevity, a bit like chess. You know, chess isn't fancy. It doesn't have to do crazy things, but we can add in a few little flavours here and there that give you infinite experimentability, you know, infinite possibility of variety, without going too over the top. Create a more stable esport, have it as an option on the game, not like every single, like we can still do this ladder, we can still do this crazy power creep, but let's just have like the sort of classic, timeless, grown up version. Right, let's see what we can do here. If I can get through that, destroy a damaged enemy minion. 14 isn't gonna, what are we doing? Restore 3, 6. Yeah, I think we're through here, aren't we? I think we're through. Let's just destroy that. Let's destroy the damaged version that comes back. And let's smash my opponent in the face for 14. There you go. That's one. That's. I think that's. I haven't lost a game. Oh no, I have lost a game, haven't I? In the Tavern Brawl against other pogo hoppers. But yeah, there we go. There's my quests knocked off for the week. Now I don't have to feel financially invested, so that I can let it go now for the week. Yeah, I'd like it if we had more classic set that was more timeless. Maybe that's an option, because we've got all these other options, haven't we? We've got like play standard, play wild. That's where you use all the cards from history. It's just a bit of a mess. Tavern Brawl is another option, isn't it, for a weekly bit of fun to win a pack. And then they've got these other modes which I really have no interest in. Battlegrounds is like an auto chess battler thing that they put in because it was popular. Arena, you get deck building. Maybe Arena is for me, you know, the random deck building element of it. But I've never had much success, and I feel that there's a financial component to it that I don't like. And Duels is like a smaller deck building experience from a smaller pool of cards with some more wild, or I should say, more out there mechanics that, in my opinion, get less fun as the power creep. It's like all those things I just described about power creep in a game format, where as you build your deck and keep winning, you end up with an obscenely powerful deck that really has no counter, no intelligent, logical counter. And if you're lucky enough to be in that situation after a few games of Duels, you steamroller, and if you're not, then you get steamrollered. So Duels has not really tweaked the thing that I enjoy. But yeah, the more basic game. I'm just gonna press choose on that. New unlocks. Oh, see, I haven't even. Let's go back. I'm not bothered about that. But the more basic game, the more core mechanic, in my opinion, of collect the pieces. You know, the chess pieces, the cards. I'm starting to feel I don't need every new collection, but you know, you have to collect these cards, don't you? You collect your cards, you build your decks. You think, how would this work with this? What if I put one of these in, and what if I use this, and how did that work, and that thing I really enjoy. And then you get to try it out on ladder and see how effective it is. And of course, there are prescribed ways of building a deck. There are ideas that the designers have already had, and the cards are designed pointed towards that. But more vague cards with a bit more variety in their application might make that classic set more playable for a long time. Yeah. So we've done some Hearthstone. Oh, I said I wouldn't. I have. Playing Hearthstone on stream now. What we're going to do now is I'm going to do this clapperboard and check my mic, because I feel that I might be getting some delay after all this time. Who knows? Who can ever say if you're getting delay? Well, you have to do this. Right, this is what you have to do. You have to do. You have to do. That seemed fine. You have to do. That seemed fine. You have to do. Yeah, it seemed fine. No one's telling me I've got delay, but I just believe I have, because I'm like that. I'm down with that. Right. So this is the thing that we're going to talk about briefly now at the end of our few Hearthstone games. I don't know if we'll continue with Hearthstone on stream. I don't know if it's going to be a regular thing. It's something I do regularly, but I don't know if it's something I want to make the stream, identify the stream by. I don't know, but yeah, certainly we're on Twitch, so we should be playing games, shouldn't we? We should. I should at least, play along with the format. But yeah, there's this guy called Wreckful, and I think about Wreckful a lot. And I don't know if everyone knows Wreckful. I certainly don't know him. I didn't know him. I started playing Hearthstone in the days of Cthulhu, as we discussed. And yeah, Wreckful was around on this format, on this platform, and because I played Hearthstone, I was aware that he missed lethal. And I can't believe I'm laughing now, because it's a meme and I'm saying it and he's dead, and I'm not trying to rib him about it, and I'm not using it as a meme, but like that's how I became aware of who he was. And it's funny, isn't it, in a way, that still echoes when his name is spoken, certainly in my mind, in a horrible sort of funny, in a dark funny. Yeah, and when I didn't really check out his content very much. I saw some of his Hearthstone videos, but Hearthstone is a sort of game that they keep doing these expansions. They keep everything fresh and new. So if your old videos aren't on a sort of timeless topic, if they're just gameplay videos, they're going to become old quite quickly, so not really relevant. And I didn't have cause to browse through much more of his content. I didn't think, the sort of people that do IRL it's called. This is what we're doing now. I am in real life. You are in real life. We are really alive. And this is a stream, so IRL, whatever. But people who had the confidence to do IRL, the sort of, the way, how do I put this? The way it looked to the outsider, that these people are walking around with these cameras on them, their own cameras, and certainly some of the more, what's the attitude I'm trying to say? The more personality-driven people that were doing it at the time, when Wreckful was, like, when I became aware of him, he was doing these IRL streams. That's what I'm trying to say. And the IRL streams didn't interest me, because I felt that the people who did these IRL streams were too brash, I guess is the word. It was too much going on, and it wasn't something I was very interested in. So I didn't really follow Wreckful very much. But obviously then he came to my attention again, because it was about the time that I got trolled real hard on the internet because of some crap with a video. that somebody. I'm not going to go into it all again. I don't want to bring it all up over and over again on the internet. Absolutely not. But somebody used a bit of my work in a video, and I didn't want them to, and that turned into the people saying, "Oh, who are you to say he shouldn't use it?" and all this business. So I got trolled, and haters, whatever you want to call it. You might not want to call it anything. You might want to just say it's reasonable for people that don't know you to send their negativity to you in every form of inbox and message that they can think of, and to not have the awareness to realise that other people are doing it as well. So they're part of a big thing on your end, but at their end they're just like, why don't you? What's wrong with my one message? Yeah. Anyway, so that sort of thing happened. And I noticed a shift change. Now, I went away from the internet. I went away from posting videos, looking at Twitter feeds. I don't look at Twitter anymore. I don't use Facebook. I don't, this negativity, it wasn't just the stuff that's directed at me, but I could see the negativity online. I could see the dysfunction and the unhealthy online, and I just needed to not be part of it for a while. So I moved away from that. It's not that the trolls stopped me posting. I'd already lost my mojo with posting ASMR before any of this happened. So it's not that people stopped me posting, but I didn't want to use social media. I did not want to use social media. Didn't want to look at any of it. Didn't want to reply to it. Just moved off that. And I noticed a few months, weeks, no months, longer than months, maybe a year, 2 years. I noticed a while later a sort of mood change on Twitch and YouTube, but mainly driven on Twitch, mainly driven by Twitch's desire to be an inclusive platform, mainly by their desire to be politically conscious, what's the word I'm trying to use? When you're politically correct, to not. I'm not trying to get political myself here. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm on the alt left and I'm stand with the left and bread tube. And, I feel strongly about these things. I love ContraPoints and I love H Bomber guy. I'm not using that. That's a person on the internet, H Bomber guy. It's not terrorism. It's clever videos about media and culture from a lovely person. Yeah, I love Harris Bomber guy and I love ContraPoints and their work. So if anything of mine falls anywhere near anything of theirs, then that's great. That's cool. But YouTube has not been. It's also been a platform for the alt-right and all this horrible stuff as well. Twitch has had their problems with this, and in my opinion, they've been seen to directly approach them head on, and to sort of fall on the side of liberalism, inclusivity, diversity. So I'm happy with that, right? And I've seen this change in, like, there's Dr. K, Dr. Alec. His name is Dr. K. He runs a channel called Healthy Gamer, and he talks to people who are on this platform, and he talks with a context of mental health. He's much more capable and educated than I am. He's a doctor, and he does a really good thing. Yeah, and I really love his work. And through his work, I became exposed to other streamers like Asmongold, like Reckful. I was aware of this mood change driven on Twitch by this kind of content, especially by this Dr. K talking directly to the audience through the icons. I mean, I don't want to hold these streamers up in too high regard because they're just like me and you, just normal people just on the internet. I'm not trying to say they're these special superstars, but through the people that had the most popularity, that carried the most weight, through that context, I could see this mood change from bullying and meme culture and Twitter mob, like hate, bullying, like that mood. I could see that shifting to a more responsible, healthy. I want to say grown up, but I'm not saying grown up into like childish and grown up, because I think children can be kind, you know, but a much more kind attitude. And people like Asmongold, I've seen him in his stream directly take on, again, in the same way as Twitch has done, people who are saying ignorant things or sexist things or whatever, you know. It's not just that it's against the terms of service. I think Asmongold is a reasonable person and has reasonable values. Like I was saying, basic things like kindness. So, so Rekfall was on this platform that I'm talking to you on. He was playing Hearthstone, but he got banned from playing Hearthstone. You can watch the videos about it. He was... I don't think he had a good relationship with Blizzard. He used to be really prolific, you know, very, very good at World of Warcraft, but he got banned from that for some reason. Anyway, it didn't all work out in the way that Rekfall had hoped for him. He was handsome, he was intelligent, he was funny, he was sometimes cocky. Maybe you don't see Rekfall's first upload and the first time you watch it you don't think, oh, I like this guy, he's my best mate, but after you get to know him through his content, you realise that he was kind and caring and just a really good person. And he was lucky as well because he was able to find financial success, but in other ways he suffered, and he suffered with mental health, and he talked about it online. And he was part of that conversation, that momentum shift to a better place on Twitch. Like, he was part of that. And then during this coronavirus, I mean, I know that you probably know this, and I know there's not many people here, you know, in the same way as these other big streamers have these platforms and have talked about these things. But Rekfall killed himself, and it was it was a massive tragedy. It was a huge tragedy, you know, in millions of ways. And it's not for me to be the qualifying voice on that, because there were other people that knew him better, that had followed his content closer, that were part of his content, part of his life. That's for them to make these comments and the personal things. But for me, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but you know, Rekfall is still around in his content. I'm on the same platform, playing the same game. Do I want to push this game, this Hearthstone game? Not really. That wasn't the thing that I've taken from Rekfall and from his content that I think was important. The kindness and the like, Rekfall was pushing new boundaries. He was, because he was lucky enough to be financially secure, what's not the word, comfortable. He was able to use his imagination to do things that he felt benefited the world, I guess. He was like a good person. I'm on the same platform trying to do similar things, struggling with similar things, and I don't know where this came from, because I just said I wanted to talk about this because it's Rekfall, it's Hearthstone, it's Twitch. We're on the start of this journey. You know, we've got an aim to get a slightly better computer, to maybe play a different game, and to enjoy the legacy of the work of people like Dr. K and the people that run Twitch and have such a desire to make it an inclusive platform where people can feel comfortable, regardless of their I don't want to say political persuasion again, because that's just popped into my head, but regardless of where they come from, who they are, the differences in life, that we can have the positive things together. But I don't want to let it I don't know I don't want to make any of the same mistakes as these people. I don't know. I just think it's worth thinking about these sort of things, and I do. And I just wanted to say that to send some love towards Rekfor and towards Dr. K and Asmongold, I guess, and to sort of say that as I embark on this journey. Yeah. And I've been saying it for 15 minutes now, so I've said it, and I'm going to shut up. If you don't know who Byron is and you don't know who Rekfor is, then, like I say, check out his work, check out his content. You'll find it on these platforms. And if you think he's a bit of a cock to start with, because he, I guess, could be a little bit like at first, he's one of these people in my mind that at first, I mean, I'm a boy as well, so maybe I see things differently when I see other boys who reflect similar things. Like there's a competitive feeling, and part of me thinks he's a bit cocky, but he's good. I respect him. Yeah, and then when you get to know him, like I said, through his content, that cocky thing drops away, and the personable aspect shines through. And yeah, such a tragedy. But yeah, that's a nice bedtime story, isn't it? Talking about Rekfor. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I've spoken about it because it's been on my mind a lot. I've been thinking about playing Hearthstone on Twitch today, and he's just been on my mind a lot. And like I said, I don't even know him. I never met him. But you feel like you get to know people through this sort of medium really well, don't you? I don't know. Yeah. What can you do? What you can do is call someone if you're struggling. If you, like Byron, are struggling, then you can call someone, you can talk to someone. I'm here. We can talk. So that's what you can do. That's always an option. Should we check if we've done the normal quests? I've still got to spend mana. 4 days to do that, though. And use my hero power. Got some packs to open. This is the main thing about Hearthstone. This is the main thing. You open these packs and the feel. Oh, they know about game feel. Blizzard do. I'm just going to hover with this pack for a little while. They know about game feel. They understand game feel. Let's put the pack back. It's making a noise. They've worked really hard creating a good, solid, chunky, crunchy game feel. And opening the pack is the best bit, isn't it? Because this is where the gambling mechanic comes in. No, it's not pay to win, obviously. You can just buy as many packs as you want and eventually get all the good cards. But it's not pay to win. Here we are, look. These are my cards. You don't know what's in them until you open them. But I know what's in them because I'm expecting they're going to be common, rare. Like, basically, most of the packs are. And if you get that common, rare, you're just like, there's another standard pack gone past. You might get a legendary. You might not. I don't know if I should open the classic packs because they're revamping classic in some way next year. And it might be worth more just to keep the packs. Maybe they'll redeem me the value of pack. Maybe the cards won't get redeemed in the same quantity value. But I don't know. So let's just open them, eh? I have got basically all the classic cards. So this is no real great shakes to learn that I've got common, rare. If Blizzard knew I was streaming, and if I was pulling in the viewers that someone like Crip or Thice does, then this pack would be like common, golden, legendary, rare. No, look, common, rare. But at least we opened more cards, eh? At least we opened them. And then what you can do is you can go into your card collection and you can look at which cards you've got and which cards you don't have. Which cards are new. If I type it in. No. New. There you go. These are my new cards that we just opened. Did I just get a golden one? I see, and I do love the art. I've got to do a full series about the art. I've got to sit down and start from, card one, work my way through it. You don't often get golden cards. If you disenchant them, they're worth more dust, and you can use the dust to buy more cards, but it's not worth it because the value of a card in dust is not equivalent to the value of it if you were to try and buy it with dust. Does that make sense? What I mean is, I disenchant something and they give me a measly amount of dust, and I go to enchant something to create it, and it costs me loads. So you're better off just holding on to all your cards. And at some point, sometimes they nerf things, and then you can get bonus dust from that. But otherwise, I just try and hoard everything. There's not much point in hoarding more duplicates, but I want to do a series about the art, don't I? And you can't see the golden art in all of the different cards unless you have them, so maybe that's something that we've got to work towards. What you can do is you can craft them, create in gold, and then disenchant and get it straight back. But I'm afraid to do it in case something goes wrong and then I've lost my money. But Solomon would do it. Solomon would be, he don't care. I'll watch him. But look at this. This is the Sorcerer's Apprentice. This is a classic card. And she's a gnome from the World of Warcraft world. She's from the World of Warcraft world. Azeroth, right? And in the golden artwork, they put this extra Caspazzle. It looks quite cool, doesn't it? It looks quite interesting. This extra, they've really gone to town on that though. They've a lot of. Not only is it warping, they like to. I'll let you into a secret, right? The secret is that there's one artist. There's lots of artists. They make the card art, right? But one artist draws the card. That's their art. They draw it separately. In fact, I can't get it up now. Don't ask me to open the browser. But they draw it as like a big piece of art, like like a full piece of art. And then when it gets placed on the card, it gets cropped. So you just get that little oval. So there is more design here that we're not seeing from the original. But if you're a good artist, you realise this, so you design your art so that the piece that gets seen inside the crop is the main bit. And when it becomes golden, a different team, animating team, I think there's only 2 people, but they call it a team, they do the animation. They take your final art piece that you've provided, Blizzard, and then they animate it for this. It seems illogical to me. It seems like you'd get one digital artist to do both steps because they would animate their own art, but no. So with that in mind, the animation that can then happen, like the adding of these magic rays and the movement, is limited to objects within the image that we can warp or cut, move, shuffle, animate. But they don't have, like, if you were the original artist, you could draw each step in the animation. You could draw the change, the animation. But because these aren't actually animated in the same way as a sprite would be animated when it moves, they're just, or other aspects of the game are animated by the animation team. This particular aspect, this golden extra dynamic to the artwork, is sort of animated over the top of a flat image of a JPEG or whatever you'd call it. They're probably not JPEGs, are they? They probably don't work in JPEG. But yeah, so you are limited to what you can do. So quite often you get this warping effect that they've done. The magic rays are obviously warping the Sorcerer's Apprentice as we see her through that magic light. It's a little bit like how trips make you feel sometimes. I don't know what kind of trips, bus trips, coach trips. They can make you tired. Hello there, new chat member. I'm going to say hello to... I can't pronounce that. Yeah, and I'm going to carry on. I'm not used to dealing with chats, so it's new for me, right? So I'm just going to say hello and then carry on talking. I hope this is appropriate. Yeah, you're looking at this through this haze of magic, but really it's just a simple ripple effect put on over the top because it creates some animation where you have trouble. You can't move the legs, you can't draw the clothing differently as it moves. So just ripple it all, give it a ripple, and it goes on quite a lot. And I don't approve. I'm afraid I don't approve. I like the golden cards being animated. I like the light that's coming from the hand. I like the way it's moving. I think that's nice because they've been allowed to animate that particular piece. I like the magic rays. I don't like the ripply bit. They're sort of a fake movement of the skirts, which isn't really moving. It's just they ripple, like the shoe is rippling in the same way as the skirt is. So yeah, I just wish they would say to the artist, look, are you a digital artist? No, you are, because we're employing you. And we've chosen you because you work in a digital medium. Can you please animate me 3 frames, 5 frames of simple animation for the gold version, and we'll pay you a little bit more because we've got loads of money. Right, I'd like it if Blizzard did that. And I'd like it if more attention was paid to the animators, the artists, because on these cards, we will find out all about Alex Hawley, Orland. See, even I can't pronounce his. No, I'm sorry, Alex. Orlandelli. That's a nice name, isn't it? Orlandelli. Alex Orlandelli. We on stream, like I said, if we end up doing this, we'll go through the cards a bit and have a look at them and try and dig out some more details or data on the artists. And to be fair, Hearthstone does provide it, but on this image, it's not even signed, is it? It's not on those old Magic cards. They used to sign them. I just wish the artists were allowed to leave their little. It's probably on the big picture, isn't it? It's probably signed in the bottom right, and then I just don't see it because it's on the big picture. But it's part of me always wishes each of these would be just given some sort of. It's here in the collection, Jay Chung, and there's 2 artists for 1 card. What the? What? What? Why the? Hello, I'm Sotos, and I come from Greece. Hello. I've been to Greece. It was nice. It was nice. Greece is a good country. It's good weather. It's got good food. The people, they know how to cook. And I always think that's important. But they do. They got good food. They know how to cook. They're welcoming. And, the Mediterranean, isn't it? The Mediterranean. There's always something sound, like just hearing the phrase the Mediterranean always makes me think nice things, warmth. Yeah. Cradle of what do you call it? Civilization as well, isn't it? Really, the cradle of civilization. When you think back, I'm not an expert on everything that happened in history in order, but I'm pretty sure back then in the olden days, Greece was doing the old civilization, wasn't it? Had all the old philosophers and. They must have been some days, mustn't they? Life can't have changed so differently. Do you know what? I probably did have Slovakia when I was in Greece, but I wasn't a vegan back then when I went. So if it was now, I probably wouldn't. But I think I did. I think I found it a little bit salty, but maybe it was the particular place that I went. I tell you what, I went to a place called Georgiopolis once, which was on one of the islands. Maybe Crete, and we went to a little restaurant. The place was one of these holiday places where it was fairly new, and there were a couple of new restaurants and like a bit of new building going on that you could see was designed to be the new attraction. But if you just walked off a little bit, there was some more real places, more rustic and homely places, and we sat down in this restaurant that literally was like on someone's front porch, and their kitchen was the kitchen, and you went into their house and they had like 3 or 4 pots of food, like 3 or 4 different dishes, and you like plate, feet, put your food on yourself, just put it on your plate. I had I had a rabbit. I had rabbit stew. That was it, rabbit stew. And I had to try it. And back then I wasn't vegan, so what am I going to do? Beat myself up in the past? But I did anyway. And I also had spinach and some potatoes, and we just put them on our plates. And then we went out and sat on this porch, and it was really beautiful weather in this little rustic, real street. Just the not the touristy bit that was brand new with the flashy lights bit, but just off and away. And it was one of the best meals I've ever had, I think. I always remember it. And the concept of somebody just running a restaurant, but without having to have like a big sign saying restaurant and like 10 tables and official kitchens, and just, here's a plate, come into our kitchen, share our food, and, please pay us at the end before you go. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. It was good. Happy memories. And I really remember being stood in the sea as well, because I used to like to go and stand in the sea at night time. In the daytime, when the beach is really busy, it's not my favourite time, but at night time when it's quiet and you're still warm from the day, but it's cool in the sea, and you can just go and stand up to your knees in it, can't you? Just let that gentle lapping of the waves just calm you before bed. Yeah, that would be perfect for me. I'd enjoy that as a form of retirement. We'll go back. We'll get these vaccines into people, and we'll improve our lives in the next few years beyond measure. That's the aim, isn't it? And then we'll go back, and we'll show people. We'll meet Sotos, and we can enjoy all of the pleasures of Greece together. Maybe one day. That's something we can do. Yeah. I got off track. And you know what? I didn't have a plan for today, so it's easy to get off track because there is no track. Where I live, it's midnight. It's always midnight. It's actually midnight, and we'll run this on a little bit, this natter chatter on a little bit more, but then I'll be getting off to bed soon with a view to coming on stream again and again and again. I've got this cracking idea for an ASMR video. Do you know, since I've been away from ASMR, there's been some really good videos made, and some really professional. I always thought that I've got a few bits of camera kit, and I've got a few friends who are quite professional at the old camera stuff, and I always thought we could get on to making some really high grade, professional quality, sort of production value ASMR content. And I've seen some now of the stuff that I envisaged, and there's some real good stuff. So I've got a couple of cheeky ideas, not huge cinematic, needing backgrounds and costumes and budgets, not that sort of stuff, but just a couple of cheeky ideas I've got that I really want to make, that will be fun. So that's in me again. That's there in me. So yeah, we're going to make more content. We're going to do more streams. We're going to have more fun, and we're going to do some ASMR as well. Yeah. But yeah, I was just saying about the old artists, wasn't I? This one had two artists, Jay Chung and Kay Turavec. No, I'm saying it. I'm wrong. They label all the artists on the cards. I'm wrong. Maybe they don't need to put more about the artists. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen to ASMR. In Twitch territory, come for games. Yeah. Do you know what? I see that. I watch people playing games here when I first heard about the concept, a few years ago it wasn't it, that Twitch started, back in the day. But I was like, no one's going to watch people playing computer games. We used to have couch co-op, right? We used to have, you sit next to your friend and you play on the computer with the controller and you pass it to your friend. Yeah, I've got a YouTube. You can find my YouTube through Twitch's system of links in the about and schedule. I've got 3. There's an ASMR, a gaming, which is new, which is going to feature all these stream drops, and battery exhausted, which is me sort of making videos about veganism and life and things. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, and please look at them. That's what we're supposed to say, isn't it? I'm not supposed to just tell you they exist. I'm supposed to promote them as well. So see that as promotion, be it as it is. Look, I wanted to say that they were doing a good job of telling us the artists. What was I talking about? He's distracted. Chat's distracting, isn't it? I need pen and paper to write down the thing. Yeah, and I love the art and I love the artists. So I wanted to do a bit of a look at the artists, and we will, and talk about the nature of the fantasy art used in this game. That wasn't what I was going to say, though. I forgot it now. Yeah, I was saying about playing video games and people didn't. Yeah, I didn't think it would catch on really, but it did, didn't it? We used to have couch co-op. That was it. That was it. That was it. We used to have. Should we do the big face? Is it time for the big face? Do you want to see the big face? Boom. Fade. Big. There's my face. It's big now. I'll crouch down so you can see it like that. Right, it's big. And it's my face. So we've achieved the big face. Right, can I move the big face around? Do you reckon if you moved it? There you go, look, let's fade that. Oosh. Oosh. Just a great big face. Right, no chat. Chat's gone. We want chat, don't we? Let's add chat. Let's add a window capture. Add existing. Boom, there's chat. You can't argue with that. Well, you can because you can't see it. There it is. But we also want to see the big face. So we want to have a nice balance between chat and big face, don't we? Douche. That'll do for now. Yeah, that'll do. It's great to... Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, it's good to be back. Although in my life I've been here the whole time. But contributing to the ongoing cultural gumbo that is the internet. Yeah, I'm back at this. I did take a bit of a break, like I said, because of constant abuse and desire change and drive change, and that's flipped again. Strangely, I feel the need to be part of this again. So yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks. People watch games. We had couch co-op. I've got to tell you about this. Back in the day with couch co-op, right? You would sit next to your friend, and your friend would play the game. It was their game. You were at their house. Yeah, who would have thunk it? You'd go and see your mates. You were a kid. Your parents would take you to see your mates and leave you there so they could go and drink. Uninterrupted and undisturbed. Look, anyway, you'd see your mates. You'd see their games. Like, my friend Jonathan had a Mega Drive. I had a NES. Yeah, so when Jonathan came to my house, we'd play on the NES, and if he brought his brother Michael, then we had problems because we wanted 2 controllers and 2. So we got a 4-player adapter in the end, and we had a 4-player. That's a different story. On the old Mega Drive, there was 2. Go to Jonathan's house, his brother Michael. There's 3 of us. Again, what's going? We've got 3 people, 2 controllers, 1 Mega Drive. That was it. Yeah. Me, where am I from? I'm from the UK, Britain. I'm from the West Midlands. I'm from Stratford upon Avon. That's getting specific, but you know, this information is out there on the internet if you want to find it, and you know, whatever. Yeah, I represented Great Britain at fencing when I was 17. I was the captain of the Great Britain cadet team, sabre fencer. I don't do that anymore. It's just, you know, that's on my CV. Well, I've made some media. I've made a few bits of media. I was part of a team that made a bit of media about Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man. That went on Netflix. That was interesting. I was part of that. That's on my CV. My friend Matt was the driving force behind that, and we kind of fell out over the years. So I've made another film myself with his help, but then he stopped helping, so we fell out, and that film has not been sold or put out there. You maybe one day could watch that film. It's about video game production and people that make video games in the forest of Sweden. We'll talk about that another time. I wanted to say about video games and couch co-op, didn't I? I've got the big face, I've got the thing, I've got the, got all that going on. You can hear me, the mic. Just check. Just check. Should we check? I'm pressing all the. Oh, now I've done it. Now I can't even. Should we check? Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah. Right. So what used to happen with couch co-op was you'd sit with your friends and you'd play the game, and you'd have to take it in turns to play the game. Right? You wouldn't always be on that controller. You'd have to pass it round. There'd be a system. Winner stays on, or take it in turns, or because it's not your game, because it's, Jonathan can play his game every day of the week. So when I'm there, maybe they let me play a bit more. That was really, gracious of them, because once I'm gone, they can play, same vice versa. If someone comes to my house, maybe they get to be player one more often because I get to be player one when they've gone. So yeah, we have these systems. We had these systems. But when it wasn't your turn, you weren't sitting there just enjoying yourself in the same way as you were when you were playing. You were a bit fed up. You wanted it to be your turn. You wanted your go on the press this, do that, you'd say, or things of that nature. I remember feeling, I wish it was my turn about gameplay, watching other people play. I remember walking past Dixon's, the TV store. So we don't have stores in England, we have shops. Walking past the shop and seeing games on display being, the demos run, and feeling like, oh, I wish I could play that. I don't want to just watch the demo, I want to play it. I used to feel like that. And then as I got older, you have to be careful about what you say on Twitch. But we had reason to be sitting in the garage rather than the main house. And there was about 6 of us lads, usually, friends, about the age of 15. And we'd sit in a friend's garage, or, my garage or someone's garage. We'd sit in a relatively outdoor area where sometimes we could smoke. But we weren't really allowed, we were being a bit naughty. And we'd play Tony Hawk and things like that, GoldenEye on the N64. And we had a sofa and a television and a limited number of controllers. And this time, when you're a bit older, there's even more people then. You've got your mates, a few mates. You might even be doing some drinking or something. I don't drink anymore. I just drink non-alcoholic. That's alcohol-free, 0 points. Not advertising the brand, just advertising the alcohol content. None, nothing. But yeah, back then, yeah, exactly, garage sesh. Yeah, so we'd do that, and we'd be playing Tony Hawk or GoldenEye, and we'd be playing for hours, and taking it in turns. And when it's not your turn, like, okay, at this point in life, there was something you could do while it wasn't your turn, but really we wanted to be playing. And it baffled me when Twitch came out. I was like, this will never catch on, right? Because in my experience, when you're not playing, when you're watching someone else play, it's kind of frustrating, and you kind of just want to say, oh, give me a go. You don't want to watch somebody play Street Fighter 2 against somebody else. You want to be in that zone, you want to be picking your favourite and pressing the, swinging the guy or leg sweep, you want to be in that. So this is non-alcoholic fake beer. I call it fake beer. It's not fake, it really is non-alcoholic beer. But I call it fake beer because, like, if it was, you get the concept, don't you? So I don't know how Twitch really did catch on in the end, but it absolutely did. I don't know if it's the platform that I want to be associated with, long term. I don't know if it is my raison d'etre. I don't know if it's where we're going. Certainly is at the moment. But there are other streaming platforms available, aren't there? So who knows? I'm new to this, and I'm just going in with my eyes open, just seeing what happens. It gives me a great ability to create content that can then go on YouTube, that I can then edit. I can use this as a sort of basic setup to edit from with other aspects. So I think that's really good. And I like experimenting with media. And I like playing computer games, and I've got them, and I've got a telly. I'm pointing at it now. That's not the telly, that's the camera, you idiot. That's the telly. But if you point at the telly, no one can see you pointing. If you point at they see. Don't keep looking over there. Look. If you look at that, right. So we've got that. And that's the plan. Yeah, we're going to aim towards powerful gaming PC. We are aiming towards playing New World, which is going to be a new MMO, and it looks interesting. And I thought, what a great opportunity to get in, like on day one with an MMO instead of be like 5 years late, like I am with Hearthstone, and I have all those old cards that I still haven't bought. Or what an opportunity to see how to do this streaming business. Play Hearthstone, League of Legends, Diablo. Oh, I play a bit of Diablo. I dabble with Diablo. It's been fun. It's a grind, and it's weirdly never ending. It's like as soon as you level and power up and feel strong, and that's the point of an RPG, is to level up and feel strong, than you did. It's all of a sudden like, okay, why don't we wrap up the difficulty then? So now torment. You don't just have 4 levels of difficulty that you used to. It's like 20 levels of difficulty. Just keep pushing, up, up, up. And it's like, hang on, something's gone wrong here. Some kind of valve has not gone off, or some kind of loop mechanism has not synced in. Because as I get stronger and stronger with my equipment, my legendary, my sockets and all that, great, that's good feeling. But then what the point is, because we're going to have the same thing happen, but with stronger baddies. But they're the same baddies, really. So actually, what you could do to get the same experience is just F off all the progression and just stay at level 1. It would be the same level of difficulty, because as you get stronger, that gets stronger, and you. So it just maintains the same gap, doesn't it? So that's my problem with Diablo. I love it. I love the grind. I can sit and grind for a few hours, and add a few little trinkets to my witch doctor and what they've got. But the story, actually agree on that. The story was interesting. It was fun. I think if Blizzard realised that a bit more as well, if they realised that you see, I agree with you there. I was more interested in the story and like playing the game like a one-player game, like you used to with again, like trying to get 40 hours out of a one-player scenario campaign story. Yeah, if Blizzard focused on that, and like it seems to be that at the end of Diablo you have to be able to play it forever, and that doesn't mean, to Blizzard, it means having this endless dungeon run, like this infinite dungeon run. Whereas I think the original Diablo roguelike element was to play the same game over and over, which I appreciate you can do with different classes, can't you? You run the same campaign, but it's different. I think that's the key to it, rather than having this sort of like endless rift, because that's what I've been doing, and I did get into a bit of a rut with it at one point. I was like, I've just spent 4 hours in these rifts, and the result of it is the rifts get harder. I got my good hat, and now my rift is harder. But I think you're right. The story's good, the lore is good. I like that. Yeah. And I don't know Smite. I'm not aware of their work. League of Legends, I haven't. Again, I'm aware of that. I see it going on, but I haven't got into it yet. But yeah, there's a load of games, and I'm going to play some of them. But I'm looking maybe at New World, because there will be no competitive advantage on day one. Really, we'll all be in it together. There's that. If I try and get into Warcraft now, it's just like, everyone's got all this amazing gear and done all this grind and all this lore, and all this time has passed, and it feels like the wrong time to get in. And the way I see Blizzard working these things. I know Amazon are producing New World as well, so that's a question mark. I mean, will Amazon one day be doing everything for me? Will they be delivering my milk? And I don't drink milk, I'm vegan. Will they be delivering my soya milk? Will they be producing my tea and selling it to me on the internet that they provide? And will I be watching their programs on my Amazon device? Or will it be beamed directly into my brain through my Amazon neural net? But yeah, in the UK, it's 0049. The time sponsored by Accurist is 12:50, midnight 50, 3 in the morning. You need to get some sleep. I mean, we all need sleep. It's natural, isn't it? It's a normal thing to need sleep, to feel sleepy. And I didn't mean it like, you need to get your sleep. But we all do need a bit of sleep sometimes, don't we? I should be encouraging you to stay here and listen to me ramble. Subscribe to something. Go and subscribe to something. But no, I think the best thing is that we wind down and think about. Do you have any favourite books? Do you have any favourite books? You said law books. Do you have any other favourite books? I like to do reading before bed. I think that really helps. It's a shame there's not like a Twitch for reading, isn't it? Harry Potter books. Yeah, I think one of the things I used to read Terry Pratchett, which is a fantasy genre. And when you read fantasy, it's really good bedtime reading because it gives you these. I believe this. I'm just making it up, but I believe this. It activates like parts of your brain in your imagination, and I think I might be wrong. I'm just making this up, but I'm not a scientist. But I think when you're trying to get to sleep and dreamy states and dreaming, the fact that the fantasy books exist in this dreamy place that you have to use your imagination to conjure because they're not like hard real life things, that you start playing in your imagination, and then it's easy to put the book down and just drift away into thoughts. What if the world was a bit more magic? Yeah. Once I read Great Expectations. That's heavy. I haven't read that. I think we've got it somewhere, but I haven't read it. Yeah. I don't know if I ever will read the Dickens till, who knows. I shouldn't talk about me, we talk about it. Which is more into literature. There's time, isn't there? There's time, and there's time, hopefully. Hopefully there's time. There's time for everything, and it's weird, isn't it? It's more accessible these days, but then there's more direct competition with other art forms and other mediums, and whilst it's easier than ever to, you could download a book on your phone maybe, or there's probably one on the computer in the internet somewhere, but the choice to go through the effort of the labour of casting your eyes across the words and converting the hieroglyphs, the pictograms into like concepts and ideas that just go straight in. If you haven't read Terry Pratchett's content, he was one of my favourite authors, Terry Pratchett, in that genre of fantasy fiction with a bit of comedy thrown in. Terry Pratchett. And some heavy concepts as well, some really nice heavy concepts in there as well. I love Terry Pratchett and his work. I've got all these books. There's loads of books around me in this room, so I've got no problem recommending books. Robert Rankin is also a comedic sci-fi writer that I've enjoyed, so he's definitely worth a look. I'm looking over there at the books now. I was just like, books. You don't get that on Twitch very often, do you? Someone looking at books. It's not really the sort of the pacing of the medium, is it? Should I have a look at a few books? I don't know. How'd you download them? Yeah, books. And I've been thinking about history recently, so I've been not we've got a few history books, so I've just been getting them out and having a bit of a look and a bit of a think, but not really reading them. That's not really the right word. Just little things, little ideas. I'll tell you what I do love. I love an atlas. It's completely different to any other form of book. When I was a kid, I was amazed by this. We've got one book out of all the books are words. They're just like stories and words. But then we've got this one book, which is the world, pictures of, like the maps, like the world. I was like, what? Like, we don't have that for other things. So we don't have the cars, like all pictured in books. When you're a kid, you've got picture books, but when you grow up, they're all wordy, all wordy books, except the Atlas. That's a grown-up book that's just the pictures. Yeah. Gonna find the book. This is interactive media. I will stay for the book recommendation. No, I'm having to hang on. I was going to get a drink and maybe go to bed, but no, I'm going to hang on. And if you come back and recommend a book, that's good. But if you don't, I'll be here forever, just infinitely caught in a loop of broadcast. It's 1 a.m. in the UK, so I have got to knock it on the head. I haven't had my tablet yet. If you get to find a book, I get to run and get a but if I go, you see, I was going to go and get a drink, but if I go and then Sotos is back, you see. Okay, I've been reading Oscar Wilde. Oh, Oscar Wilde. It's interesting, isn't it? Oscar Wilde was quite a flamboyant character, and one of these people whose life is almost as interesting as the work. Yeah, I always think Oscar Wilde's cool. There's loads of cool quotes attributed to Oscar Wilde from way before memes existed. Sad stories. Okay. Oscar Wilde must have had cause to feel a range of emotion during his life, yeah. Sad stories. Yeah, I've always read things that have cheered me up, actually, when you think about it. I've always gone for more positive, humorous. I've always liked comedy, but I don't sit there laughing out loud, but I've liked the concept of comedy in a book, yeah. Books have made me laugh out loud a couple of times and cry sometimes as well. There are sad books, yeah. It is important to have that as well. The old books. I did a video called Book Sorting, and in that video I was putting the books on the shelf. So there you go. Now listen, it's way past 3 a.m. You've got your book in your hand, right? I'm going to do you a favour, right? I'm going to do you a favour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to stop broadcasting within 3 minutes, because it's nearly 1 o'clock here and the neighbours want to know who I'm talking to. We're not allowed, no one's coming round the houses. No one's allowed around. So who am I talking to? They'll think I'm doing a naughty. They'll send the police. Please. If they send the police around, the police will say, have you got too many people in your, have you got any strangers in your house? I say, no. No, because of COVID, isn't it? You're not allowed to have people around. And the policeman will say, oh, can I come in and have a look, sir? And I'll say, no. I'll say, excuse me, sir. Can I come and have a look? And I'll say, no, because then there will be strangers in the house, won't there? I don't know anything about you. I don't know where you're from. If you come in, we're breaking the law. Not allow people in my house that don't come from around my house. So if you come in, Mr. Police Officer, you're breaking the law. That's what I'll say. But yes, good night. Good night. Thank you. I want to say baby, but I don't know if I should be saying baby. I don't know if that's like condescending. So it might be Babby, because in Birmingham we say Bab. All right, Bab. Hey, Bab. Like that, Bab. So yeah, you've got your book in your hand. Sotos. I'm awful with pronunciation. This is going to be difficult if part of my life is to read people's names out online. But yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope you get a good night's sleep. I hope you enjoy reading your book. And I will see you again on stream. Okay? Isabel. That's a nice name, isn't it? Do you know that Bjork song? It's spelled differently. Isobel, I think it's spelled, but this is how you work the internet. This is how ideas are shared on the internet, right? What we do is we write. We. I wonder if this works. Right, I've got it. You probably can't hear it. You might be. Grammarly. Skip Grammarly. Go away, Grammarly. Right, now I've got this. I can copy that and I can put that there. Paste. I don't know if you can hear this or if you can just find that in chat there. But this is a song called Isabel by Bjork, who's really good. And yeah, it's a lovely song. It's spelled differently, so you know what you're going to do. Good night, all. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next stream. We've got lots of stuff coming up in stream. We've got games, obviously. That's the main thing that people do on Twitch. But we're going to be looking at art history. We're going to be talking mental health every Monday. Mental Health Mondays. We're going to be looking at the history of art in Learning Zone together. And we're also going to be looking at modern, or I should say, current artists, like living artists and their work through the medium of this platform. That's stuff we've got planned. Yeah, that's what we've got planned. So stick around for that, and I'm sure the content will evolve as you become involved. Thanks very much. Be good. And I've got to work out how to turn this off.